Wonderful. Moving along the line, item 3. We have a guest to speak. Mr. Brown with Freedom Shrimp and Aquaculture.
Yeah, I just want to change the zoning on the lots I'm gonna have the shrimp barn and stuff on. That's the biggest reason I'm here, and to see if anybody has any qualms or questions they want to address while I'm here. I have the lot numbers and the description right here. I can give to the girls when we get down here.
What lot numbers are they?
It would be,
And is that the address?
Address is 1116.
the address is 1116 Wagon Wheel Lane. That's according to the 911 address assignment thing.
They called it.
And they had it facing,
Yeah, we have it facing north, because the barn's gonna be north and south. And
Well, I know that's not the
it's
lots, but what's the number?
really wouldn't be wise to put the front door in the back of the barn, so, you know. It'll just be easier to work it that way. The lot, it's block 30, south 20 feet. I don't know what that south 20 feet is, but it's block 30, and the lot numbers are 9 through 24. That goes from the edge of my driveway out to Eagle Pass, and then I think about 50 feet past the lift station there, the sewer lift station. I'll have
50
to-
feet to the
Yeah.
south.
We can have it surveyed if you want to. I just didn't want to spend that kind of money if we didn't have to, since we have the legal description, you know.
So without looking at it, I'm guessing if it's lots 9 through 24 that they're running a long ways east and west.
What it'll be is on the front, on Wagon Wheel, it'll be 9 through 16,
Okay.
and then 140 feet back, it'll be 17 through 24 going to the east. But it's from my driveway, it'll be 280 feet back, and then the lot width back down to 17 in the back. The lots are, according to this, the lots are 25 by 140.
Okay.
You have a guess as to how many square feet this thing is?
Okay, it's 200 feet from the corner towards my house. And then it will be 180 feet from the edge of my driveway straight back. Is about what it amounts to.
So is that 3,600 square feet?
Roughly, yeah.
That's a good guess.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to figure, and I didn't come up with that.
Yeah, the barn itself will be 6,000 square feet. So your figures were wrong, because the barn is 50 by 120.
Yeah, it'd be about 6,000.
That's 6,000 square feet.
So the building itself is 6,000.
Yes. There'll be no, we'll have air pumps, of course, to aerate the water. They're not gonna be big, noisy, wake up the neighbors kind of stuff. They will be inside the building, and they're quiet. They're quite silent. Kind of like having a fish tank, a big fish tank.
You know, one of the first things I think somebody's gonna ask is the smell. Is that
Not a
gonna be
problem. It's not gonna be a problem. I did a lot of research. There's no waste, period. There's nothing that you can't just dump out the back door, and it's not gonna hurt the environment. It's all environmental friendly. The smell is nil. I went to the shrimp farm in Indiana that I hired for a consultant, and you walk into their shrimp farm and you'd swear you were standing on the beach in the Gulf of Mexico. That's the smell. I mean, it just it smells like
36,000 square feet instead
Yeah.
of 3,600 square feet.
Yeah. It's it really honestly smells like the ocean. Is basically what it smells like. And it doesn't permeate beyond the building hardly at all.
For south wind, I'd be a little homesick.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I walked in there and I thought, man, I need to go to California again. I don't even like California for its people. I like it for the beaches, you know. They've got some nice beaches out there.
Do you ever have to back flush your filters or tanks or
No.
anything like that?
No. If we have a water problem, it'll go to a disposal. But they're using the same water they started with 8 years ago. The only water we'll add, it will be just what evaporates. There won't be any back flushing. If the filter needs to be cleaned, it needs to be replaced. But there's no filters as far as the shrimp barn itself. Will filter the water that goes in for sand and pesticides and things like that, because we can't have any pesticide in it. I'll have all those tests done before we go ahead and use the well. We're going to use a well for the shrimp water. We're still going to need city water for washing hands and you know, when somebody comes in, if they need a restroom or something, we'll still have to have city water and sewer. So, and we'll have to get together and figure out which direction we're gonna go with that line, so. I know we can hook up in the front, or we can go behind the building too. We'll be right next to a line there too, so just be a matter of making the decision where the bathrooms and stuff are gonna be.
So you don't think there's any special sewer size, any lines that have to be different than
No.
the residential?
No, it'll just same as any residential lines. There won't be anything. There's, as a matter of fact, I'd like to have grass like they had out there in Indiana. When they wash their floors down, they just wash it right out the back of the building, and they have a beautiful lawn back there.
Have you, or do you have to have any dealings with DEQ?
Yeah. But their water, they don't, the only water they use is just to clean the floors. It's a very sanitary operation. If you don't keep it sanitary, your shrimp will catch diseases and stuff, and then you got real problems. That's why you use multiple tanks as opposed to one big pond. So that if you do have a disease problem, the water doesn't transfer from any tank to any other tank. It stays in that same tank always.
So there'll be nothing going into our lagoons?
No, nothing at all, not out of the shrimp.
Other than your bathroom?
Yeah, right, other than the bathrooms and the wash your hands and stuff like that.
Okay.
And nothing is toxic anyway. I mean, if you dumped one of the tanks, there's a lot of salt in it. So, I mean, the salt wouldn't be good for the environment, but the only way one of those tanks is gonna get dumped is if we pump it empty, or God forbid somebody should run into it with a forklift or something. You know how I am with my cows, so.
There's not any kind of special parking, anything like that you're gonna require as far as?
We'll probably sell shrimp 3 days a week to start with, and there will be some traffic in and out. I allowed 20 feet off of the street to the front of the building so that they can, I don't think they'll get all the way off of the right of way, but they will be close enough to off of the right of way. It won't be a problem, I don't think. If we need more parking, I would like to, even now, I would like to put a tin horn from the street all the way down to just past the city's lift pump, just one big tin horn to there. I think that would be really nice, because that way if if, good Lord forbid, I did get snowed under on a day, that people could park off of Eagle Pass and just walk around the front of the building. That would be really nice. I don't know what it would cost to buy the tin horn, but once I get the loan and everything, if I buy the tin horns and y'all furnish the fill dirt and stuff, that would be great with me. Because the tin horns that are there, they need to be replaced. They really do. They're not in the best of shape. So it wouldn't hurt anything at all if we just made that a whole drainage all the way down through there, big enough to where it could be cleaned out if it needed to be. That's not a must. That's just that's the way I'd like to have it.
Yeah.
It's just a thought. So you know, I mean, any of you guys could go down there and look and make that decision. We put that steel pipe in at the ball field, that big steel pipe at the ball field. That would work in some length, you know. But I don't think we need anything that heavy.
The thing is, even with a big tin horn, it would take a lot of fill.
Yeah.
Of wide ditches over.
Yeah, it really is. It would take quite a lot of fill. And I'm not saying I wouldn't cover part of the cost either, because, you know, I mean, this is my deal. And we want it to go well, we want everything to look good. I'm gonna try to get some decent grass planted around the building and stuff like that. It's coming.
May I take a picture of you looking pretty?
I like his shirt. I noticed his shirt.
You see, he's got.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, so
that's,
turn to me a little bit. Oh, yeah, that's a cool shirt. You zoom in, oh, pretty.
that is our logo, that right there.
Oh, okay.
My
I
wife
think it came
designed
out
it.
sharp.
Oh, she did?
Yeah.
Well, I think your ideas are great. The only thing, do we have to have an attorney look at something like that to?
We need to for zoning, especially if we need to change
I
it.
got your logo good
Yeah,
there.
for this was
Ah,
on
yeah,
residential
that'll
right
work.
now, so.
And that's a county road going to the dump.
It's the old highway, so yeah, it's a county road. I might be able to talk to county and put the tin on it.
Oh, yeah, they do it.
We just have to find Mr. Bowman that looked at everything, make sure it was right, and draw up the ordinance for like for proper legal description in there, and then.
They do, shrimp do fall under the category of livestock.
Really?
Yes, yes. The only reason that would change would be if somebody wanted us to butcher them, and we're not gonna butcher them, we're gonna sell them live.
We need to look at our livestock ordinance and see what it does not exclude.
I don't think shrimp is on there. For excluding.
But I didn't know if
Like
it
the
said all
wild bird
livestock
that-
is deemed by the state of Oklahoma, or if
The
it's.
wild bird that Lynn had on the other ordinance that was around.
Well, if they fall in the category of birds, we wouldn't be able to sell them.
You're some strange bird I've never read.
It was like an emu or something.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
wild,
Emu
like,
or
maybe
ostrich, probably an
it was-
ostrich.
Yeah,
Brett Nixon,
those.
Castleberry.
Brett Nixon had a bunch of ostriches.
Brett
Yeah.
Smith. my
Brett
husband.
Smith, yeah, I'm sorry.
She knew more.
Brett, I get them two mixed up.
That's okay. No, he doesn't have any anymore.
Fortunately, Brett Smith is not here to defend himself, right? I worked for Brett Nixon for a while. He's pretty tough to work for. He's a good guy. He really is a nice guy, but he's hard to work for.
Well, is that something we need to have an attorney look at and then go back and vote on it at a special meeting or something?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess we'll have our attorney see what we need to do on our end to make everything legal.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah. And I know that the building codes have to meet the state standards. That's correct, right?
mhm.
Okay. We will see to it that happens. That's not a problem there.
And that's in our ordinances. It has the particular building code standards.
Oh, it does. I thought that we were using state codes only, so.
I don't know if those standards are up to date. I don't know when that ordinance was put in. There might be associations that don't even
Yeah.
exist anymore.
Yeah, I know the state code is the minimum that we have to go with.
Yeah,
so-
yeah, well, we will definitely meet the minimum, most
Yeah.
likely we'll go further than that, cause I don't want things breaking down. If I have an air pump that goes down for 2 hours, I'm gonna lose a tank or two of shrimp, just right now. 'Cause they have to have a lot of oxygen. So there's, you know, I mean, there's a lot to the maintenance and making sure that things are running. And the way things, electrical power and stuff are here, I will put up a backup generator. I think I'm gonna run it off of propane. Simply because it's mobile enough that if I need to build another building and move it over or back or something, I can kinda shift it around if I need to. And propane would be a little bit easier to deal with in that respect, plus it's cheaper than gas.
Sounds good to me.
That's
We'll
number
just-
10.
Could I ask what zoning change you're asking from, you know, residential to C1, or, I mean, do they have zoning nomenclature that
Residential to commercial, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
don't have
just
different
word it.
commercial
There's not
variables, no.
so just
We have
residential?
different residential variables, but it's like residential with multiple housing, I think, or something, or multiple.
Okay, where you're talking about, like for rentals, it's different for rentals, the zoning,
Hmm.
yeah, different for rentals than it is, but we're not gonna rent the shrimp.
Right, well, I just try to be accurate in my
Yeah.
description of the change you
There's
want.
general
Right,
commercial
right.
and open display commercial.
Multiple family dwelling is what it's
Wow.
zoned now, and then from multiple family dwelling to commercial.
Okay.
And where he is the end of town, so it wouldn't be making an exception right
It wouldn't
in
be right in the
Freedom
middle.
proper. It would be
Yeah,
like-
no,
Wouldn't be
break
right
up.
here in the middle of
Yeah.
Main Street making a
It's,
residential.
all of this is
request.
actually in Old Town, Freedom. The old part where they started to build a town and then moved it forward, that's what, all of this is in that, everything that's behind me is in that, so. I don't know, I have a picture that they gave me at the, assessor's office. The part we're talking about is from right here. This is Wagon Wheel Lane, coming back to, let's see, would be right here. That's where the city's lift pump is. It'll be just beyond the city's lift pump though, actually. Is when I put in this gate right here, that gate's like 40 foot. And when I put it in, I found an old city limits sign right there, right on the north side of that gate. It was made out of cedar wood. And we tried to preserve it, but it just fell apart. It just crumbled when it dried up, so. But that's the map that they gave us to look at it. And they said that's the legal
I know where
description.
it's
Okay,
at.
okay.
Yeah, we're in.
This south 20 feet of
And I'm like, okay, turn it back
Is-
around, I know where it's at.
20 feet right here where it's the easement for an alleyway.
I was going the right direction.
And the lots that we want to change, I'll just put a little X on all of them.
Is it 9 through 20?
Kind of what I was
Four.
figuring. Right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, but it's not.
That's
Did you
right.
say it extends past the lift station?
I'm pretty sure it will. It'll be from the corner on my property line, probably approximately at that light pole. If we measure back 280 feet, that's where the line should be.
Is that the lift station?
I think the lift station's right. Yeah.
Your remark's
Right in there.
a lot closer than what I thought the lift station was.
The lift station should be,
Lift station is right along that line.
is it really?
I think
I
that's the
didn't think
lift
so.
station and that's the,
I was thinking, oh, that's the old
Valve
laundry
setting.
there. You're right. You're absolutely right.
so that would be the.
I think that's the line. I'll have to measure it. I'll have to take my tape and measure from the center of the street back.
What do you call that?
glad you caught that too, because I thought I thought the lift station was right there where I made my mark. But it's not, that's where that cross fence is that I took out.
So it'll just go to where your mark is, right?
It'll go from this corner, it'll go 280 feet back, wherever that 280. I'll go out there and put a flag on it when I get home, so that we'll know for sure. Because the lots are 25 by 140, and if we measure back 280 feet, I think right there is where the alley easement is. If the city wanted to put in an alleyway, that would be right where it's at. Pretty sure that's the back 20 feet of that 140. And then the first 20 feet of the next one. In the city easement for an alleyway or a street, 40 feet.
Is it 40 feet?
Well, I think. This is entirely 50.
County is 33 feet from center.
To edge.
So from edge to edge, it'd be 60 feet.
66, yeah.
I was thinking for the city, an alleyway or a street though, 40 feet would be quite a bit of room actually. For an alleyway especially. I'll measure it.
We'd
I'll
have
set
to
a
ask the
flag.
county, because I'm not sure, because
Yeah.
they do our streets.
Well, I don't see any reason why you'd want to put an alley through there anyway, but,
No. I don't foresee any trouble with anything, unless our attorney comes up with something. The worst case scenario I can see is that your main entrance might have to be off of the old highway road instead of across from the ballpark, but that may not be.
But you're right, that is the lift pump right there on that corner. That's where it'll end, is right there. I'll bet you it's 280 feet from this corner to that one. I'll measure it and make sure.
And you're not gonna do any excavating back in here, are you? I mean,
Yeah, we
that
might.
sewer line runs from the housing.
Yeah, no, we're not gonna do any digging. We're not gonna dig any. If we do, it'll be like a phone line ditch or something. It won't be deep enough for it like that. And if I was planning on it, we'd be out there marking it. Those kind of mistakes I can't afford. I'm already borrowing $400,000 for this deal. I don't want to throw extra money at it.
There you go. He could open a convenience store.
That's what I was thinking when he said that. Right up there with the shrimp business.
Actually, I think I can get it done for quite a bit less than that. I've got it set up where I can borrow in increments what's needed. So I think I can do it for just under 300, but I wanted to make sure I had myself covered in case it went a little further.
Sounds exciting.
It does.
Hey, you know anybody that wants to throw some grants at me, I'll take it.
Yeah, how many employees would this business have?
How many what?
Employees?
To start with, it'll probably have 3. Once we get, in 5 years, we'll probably have about 8. And it might be more than that. If we manage to follow our 5-year plan to the letter, I'm sure there's gonna be hitches and hiccups and stuff like that, but if we manage to follow our 5-year plan, at the end of 5 years, we'll be pulling in about $2.5 million and employing 12 people.
What's your timeline as far as getting it built and opening? What are you looking at right now?
5 minutes after they give me the loan.
You're ready.
Yeah, I'm hauling some sandy and Shan Wilson has agreed to haul some dirt in for me so we can get the building pad ready before we get the loan. I'm sure I'm gonna regret that, but,
It is what it is.
it is what it is. In order to continue to move forward, we're gonna move forward in any way we can. You might ask the lawyer if we can drill a well, cause we're gonna punch a 60-foot deep well. I have it one that's 10 foot, but the gyp's too heavy. I think if we go about 60 foot, we can remove a lot of the gyp out of the water. The shrimp like hard water anyway, so hard water is not a problem.
They're gonna love freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Dive into that and jam your neck plumb down to your ankles. Anyway, they do like the hard water, but it's got too much gyp in it higher up, so we're gonna try to get down a little deeper and get away from the gyp.
Do you have a phone I could have? Phone
Me?
number?
No, I don't have a phone. 580-748-2462.
That way if I'm writing a story about it, I got questions, I can
You can call me,
call
yeah.
and get it accurate.
Yeah, that'd be
Or if you
fine.
wanna order some shrimp, right?
Well, yeah. Now, white shrimp, I don't care for it, but I love it.
You know, these shrimp might change your mind.
Oh, okay.
They might change your mind. They started deveining shrimp, but actually butchering them on the docks because of heavy metals in the ocean. That won't be a problem with these. There will be no heavy metal. They won't have mercury or any of that kind of stuff in
So
them.
they might be a healthier shrimp.
They'll be a healthier shrimp, and they'll taste quite a lot sweeter than the shrimp that you get out of the ocean.
You gonna sell them in sizes? I mean, like small to,
Yeah, we'll sell them, basically, the standard right now is 20 to 25 per pound. We can grow them bigger, but they cost a little more, because you gotta feed them more, you know. It takes about 120 days to grow them out
really?
from the post-larval stage, if you have to buy them outside of your own barn. Hopefully, within a year or so, we'll be able to produce our own. So one pair of shrimp will produce 10,000 eggs every 2 months. So I'm sure we can probably figure out how to.
Without predators, they just,
Yeah, well, they are their own predators.
oh, are they?
Yeah, you have to take the adults out of the tank or give them a place to hide, or the adults will eat the babies. That's a whole nother, my brother was doing the research on that. He died, so.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, that means I'm gonna have to do all that research, or get a school involved. That way they can teach me.
Yeah, does Northwestern have any resources that can help you as far as, I don't know, teaming up with their biology department or
Well, that's kind of
ecology
what
department?
I'm working on it. I've made about 1 million phone calls, and I keep winding up at Chicago instead of here. And everybody keeps giving me their own phone numbers, but I'm gonna go over there and just walk in the door and say, I want an appointment with whoever it is I'm supposed to talk to here. And I went to the county extension office today to talk to Greg Highfield. I'm sure he'll have some ideas. And of course, Sonia Williams, you know, I'll talk to her a little bit. I don't know that there'll be any help, but I'm pretty sure if I can get the college interested in the research and development part of it, I know that we only need an 8-foot ceiling in the barn for the shrimp tanks. And we have a barn that's 18 foot tall, so we can actually build some dorm rooms upstairs if we need to, so that we can house a student or somebody that wants to come visit for a day or two, or, you know, that kind of stuff. And I'm hoping that will attract the college, will help to attract the college.
Is there a university in Oklahoma that has an aquaculture?
There's several of them that has aquaculture, but none of them are doing saltwater. Not shrimp anyway. They're doing tilapia and crawdads and things of that nature. But there's, as far as I know, so far, the research I've done, there's none of them are doing shrimp. There's nobody in Oklahoma that's growing saltwater shrimp right now.
Wow.
So our market is the whole state and southern Kansas.
Cool.
No kidding. Thanks for giving us all that information.
Well, that's why I'm here. At first I had a partner. We were gonna build the first barn at Goldtree. We went to Purdue, we went to the consultant's farm. I'd already paid the consultant $12,000. And we went to the farm. The next day I'm on my way back to Woodward with the company pickup that I used to go out there, and the guy that was gonna partner with me called me up and said, I'm really not interested in doing that. I was already like 40 grand into it, so it was like, okay, well, fine. I'll just order the barn to my address and we'll start from there, because we were gonna build a barn in Goldtree there at his place and then migrate another one to here so that we'd have two facilities in the same state basically. And one could kind of go fishing that way for customers and the other one could go the other way. But like I said, he backed out at the last minute, so and I was already into it for enough money I couldn't afford to say no. But I just made up my mind it was going to go, and then my brother got interested, and of course he died Friday, 2 o'clock in the morning. Thursday.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
So, but now the determination is just for no other reason, just for him. I'm really interested in it. I really am. I'm pretty jazzed. It's going to be fun growing ugly little creatures. But once we start producing our own eggs, that's where the ticket will be. That's where the real money starts to show. Because we can sell the post-larval shrimp and we'll still have more than we can grow. So, if anybody wants fish bait, give me a holler. The ones that die, we'll freeze them and they'll go for fish bait in various different places. They're only worth about $3 a pound, which is about $3.50 a pound less than I can sell them for and make money, But we'll recoup one way or another on them. The ones that we order in the survivability rate will be about between 50 and 70% because they don't do shipping well at all. It's like hauling cattle from Florida up here. You're going to have some sick cows, The shipping fever runs with them too, so it's not a disease or a cold. It just wears them out.
Well, cool. I think you have our support.
Well, I will take any advice and any help I can get. And if anybody has any better ideas on the building and things like that, I'm definitely willing to listen. Like I said, I'm working pretty diligently on getting some of the schools involved. I get the runaround a lot. It's like, go away, They don't really want to, I haven't been enough of a pain in the butt yet to get somebody to really sit down and talk to me. So if you know somebody or know somebody that knows somebody, please do feel free to either have them call me or give me their number and I'll do the pestering.
Seems like there should be, one of the university systems would have an aquaculture. It's kind
I
of,
know OSU has aquaculture. I don't think they do saltwater though. It's of course, that's not saying they're unwilling to try. It's just saying that they're not doing it now. I'm pretty sure they do have aquaculture though. At least they teach aquaponics, which is growing plants in water. So it's just a matter of finding the right person, and that can be a daunting task. It really can. If I can get the schools involved, there's all kinds of grants and the bank over here will be going, here, education, you know. It'll make it a lot easier to make it profitable that way. It really would. But we're gonna get it done anyway. If anybody runs into any problems or any of that kind of stuff, I'm definitely all ears, so.
Okay. Well, cool. Thank you for coming to see us. We'll run everything past our town attorney and
All right,
make sure everything's kosher and.
yeah, tell him not to hunt too hard.
Okay.
I really don't wanna battle on lands, and I don't have a better place to put the barn. I really don't. If I put it on out further in the pasture, then I gotta run electricity, and the sewer lines will be a lot longer, and plus too, that's kind of part of the best grass I have right there where the barn would be. So, you know, I hate to tear up the best grass I've got. I don't have very many cows, but I'd like to keep them fed, you know? So it's, you might let him know that I really don't have a better place, other than, I guess we could go over on the other side of the road, clear down there by the river, but then I'd sure enough be in a floodplain,
Yes, you would.
so,
But you're not where you're at.
yes, I am.
I was gonna say most of them is.
If I could find somebody that would come out, like FEMA or Corps of Engineers or somebody, to come out and mark the flood line, where the flood lines are, I could build the pad up just above, about a foot above the flood lines. I wouldn't have to do the flood insurance. But I have no idea where to go for that, to find out where the flood level actually is.
It might work that way, but I know as far as like
If the
residential
flood zone's
home.
on any of your property, a foot on a corner of your property, you have to have flood insurance for the entire property.
And it doesn't matter if your house is on.
That's, well,
slope.
that's the problem.
All they look at is the address and where it is on the flood map.
That's it, you know, and you have to prove elevation. It's one of those things, it's a slippery slope.
That's what we
You know.
want.
And of course, you know, if it does flood, well, it'll be the first time in history that there's been saltwater shrimp in the Cimarron River.
You might want to visit with Randy McMurphy, the county commissioner for this area, because I've sat at many of their meetings on the Avard Rail Park, and they got delayed a lot to meet the floodplain rules. You would want to get your project, he could educate you on what they had to go through and see if any of it's applicable to your project.
They might do that.
I mean, they
I've
got a lot-
talked to him a couple of times about it, so,
Okay, well,
you know, I
they
know.
sure had they lost 18 months or so over floodplain arguments.
On the railroad going through, when it went through here.
Well,
At the
Avard
turnaround,
Road,
at the
the
start.
turnaround thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll ask him about that. I'll call him and ask him about that.
He
Then I'll
can
measure
save you
the
a lot.
280 feet back from the corner there and see where we wind up.
Okay.
Because I don't know how much of my lot is city easement, or how much of that, I don't know how they divide that up, so if you find out, let me know so I can do the proper measuring.
It will probably have to be surveyed, would be my guess, especially on a project that big.
Probably will.
Well, we don't mind doing it, as long as the surveyor's not gonna, you know, make his whole year's living off of one job.
I don't know, I haven't had anything surveyed in a while.
Me neither. Anyway, I appreciate y'all giving me the time on this. And if anybody wants any other information, y'all have my phone number.
Okay.
You're welcome to use it. And, you know, it's all up to you now at this point, so. But we do need to zone those lots commercial. She has the description. Did I give you that?
Yes.
Yeah, she has the description, so.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Wonderful.
I was gonna skate out of here.
If we have any great ideas too, we'll call you.
Hey, that'll work. I'll take any idea you have, as long as it has to do with getting those shrimp in that barn faster.
right, well, good luck, thank you
Yeah.
very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.